But let me kick off the show by congratulating Pauline Hanson on the news that she's retained her Senate seat today. I'm very happy to see a friend of the show returning to Parliament. Keep fighting for common sense. Pauline and I do not agree on everything, but I like her fighting spirit. But I have to say the only regrettable part of this victory is it's come at the expense of Amanda Stoker, a true shining light of politics. And if we cannot find room for both of these amazing ladies, then we've got rocks in our head. So let's hope that Amanda joins back in the team in Canberra very, very soon. Okay, Australia, are you ready for the $8 latte? Believe me, it's coming. Inflation is predicted to reach 7% this year. Wages have already jumped and power prices are set to skyrocket. This is all going to smash small business, who are already struggling thanks to the insane restrictions of the past 2 years. Now, I'm not alone in saying this. Our politicians are entirely responsible for this state of affairs. They actually believed they could control the business cycle through money printing and artificially low interest rates. They clearly thought there would be no economic or political consequences for such loose policy. Well, they were wrong, again. And while the Albanese government is being forced to deal with it, they actually didn't create the mess. No, that honour goes to the Rudd, Gillard, Rudd, Abbott, Turnbull, Morrison governments, who have all been fiscally hopeless. And while they all walk away with their post-prime ministerial pensions, we get to pick up the pieces of their failures. It's not good enough. And speaking of failures, how much worse can the Reserve Bank of Australia get? After promising to keep interest rates at 0.1% for years, they're now raising them as fast as they possibly can. Well, it's a bit bad, bit tough luck, isn't it, if you relied on their words to borrow in order to invest or perhaps to buy a house. And it's even worse if you were one of the people lured into a very low deposit house purchase thanks to the platitudes and policies of the last government. As interest rates rise, so will your mortgage. And if you couldn't save before, you're going to be in a world of trouble now that lettuce is $12 a head in some places. It's another painful reminder not to blindly accept anything you're told by authorities. I've said it before, trust nothing, verify everything. There was some relief for the lowest paid this week when a $40 a week pay rise was handed down by the Fair Work Commission. Now that's the equivalent of an extra $1.05 per hour for the minimum wage, which is now north of $21. I do not begrudge those doing it really tough some extra money. I thought it was, political genius for Albanese to endorse it because these people do need it. But I've got to tell you, it's a rise the country can't really afford. Let me explain. Lifting wages helps people in the short term. But over the long term, business add those additional costs to their prices. And in all likelihood, they prompt efficiencies in production within the business. When I say efficiencies, I mean lost jobs. And that is not good for anyone. Anyway, as the costs are passed on, that kicks inflation up, which prompts further wage rises and demands. It puts costs up again and on and on and on. The cycle goes. As prices rise, the cost of things we need, food, utilities, rents, they're all guaranteed to go up. The cost of things we want, technology, subscriptions, your Netflix and so on, well, they're going to stay static as demand drops. And that's actually going to make it even harder on household budgets. So how do we break the cycle? Well, we have to liberate the economy, particularly for small business. Red, green and black tape is binding us up so tightly, we're suffocating our own private enterprise.